Comparing players from different eras can be difficult, but Richie McCaw stands apart. Widely regarded as the greatest All Black of all time, he was an exceptional player and captain, celebrated for his leadership and on-field intelligence. His record of 148 Test appearances for the All Blacks, with 131 wins, speaks volumes about his consistency and impact. He was the first player to captain a country to back-to-back Rugby World Cup victories in 2011 and 2015. But here's something you might not know. Richie McCaw almost walked away from rugby in 2005 after a brutal concussion. What happened after that injury reshaped his mindset and pushed him toward greatness. Let me paint you the picture of where this story begins. Rural New Zealand, 1980. Richie McCaw is born into a world where rugby isn't just a sport, it's a religion. And in this religion, there's one sacred rule: only the biggest, toughest kids make it to the top. McCaw was neither. Growing up on a sheep farm in Kuroff, and I'm talking about a town so small it had 300 people on a good day, young Richie was that kid who got picked last. Not because he was lazy, not because he didn't care, but because he was just ordinary. His dad, a helicopter pilot, would watch 12-year-old Richie get pushed around by bigger boys. While every other kid was trying to be the biggest guy on the field, McCaw was studying something else entirely. He was watching, learning, obsessing over something no one else cared about. The game within the game. He played rugby for the local Kura Rugby Club's junior side. His first coach, Barney McCone, was good mates with 1971 All Black Phil Gard, who played 85 games for North Otago. At Otago Boys High School in Dunedin, he was number 8 in the school's first 15. Following his graduation in 1999, he joined the Christchurch Football Club. He enrolled at Lincoln University, Christchurch, to study agricultural science, but he broke off his studies when he was selected to play for the New Zealand Under-19 team for the 1999 World Under-19 Rugby Tournament, which was won by New Zealand. In 2000, McCaw was selected for the New Zealand Under-21 side, which he captained. He was named the Under-21 Player of the Year at the 2001 Steinlager Rugby Awards. He made his debut for Canterbury in New Zealand's National Provincial Championship in 2000 and was named the NPC Division 1 Player of the Year. McCaw made 34 appearances for Canterbury, leading it to the NPC title in 2004. In 2001, he made his debut for the Crusaders in Super Rugby, the principal professional rugby competition in the Southern Hemisphere. This was his shot, but the physicality was brutal. As a skinny kid from Kuroff, he got his fair share of hits. He was roughed up, out-muscled and tested in every ruck. He didn't quit, but 4 years later, after a severe concussion in 2005 and seeing a young injured player in the hospital, McCaw considered walking away from the sport altogether. It wasn't until he met another patient who was paralysed from a non-rugby accident that he realised risk is part of life. If he was going to take that risk, it would be for something he loved. That became the turning point. He played 145 times for the Crusaders through 2015 and helped the team to 4 Super Rugby titles, 3 times as captain. McCaw debuted for the All Blacks against Ireland in Dublin on November 17, 2001. He was named Man of the Match in a 40-29 victory. By 2004, McCaw became captain of the All Blacks at age 23. Not everyone thought he was ready. Sports writers called it risky. Teammates weren't all convinced, but what followed was one of the most dominant eras in rugby history. Over the next 14 years, McCaw would miss just 37 test matches. When he was on the field, the All Blacks won 89% of their games. Without him, that figure dropped to 78%. His presence didn't just raise the standard, it defined it. Under his leadership, New Zealand claimed the 2011 Rugby World Cup on home soil, then made history in 2015 as McCaw became the first captain to win back-to-back titles. At the Rugby World Cup in 2011, McCaw became the first All Black to reach 100 tests when New Zealand comfortably accounted for France 37-17 in pool play. McCaw was presented with his 100th test jersey by former All Blacks loose forward and captain Jock Hobbs, who passed away from cancer a short while later. McCaw fractured his foot in that victory, an injury he kept secret from the public, but that wasn't going to stop him in pursuit of World Cup glory. He was immense in the 26 demolition of the Wallabies in the semi-final. All Blacks assistant coach Sir Steve Hansen claimed that McCaw completely outplayed David Pocock. The Rugby World Cup final at Eden Park would be his finest hour. The All Blacks broke their 24-year World Cup drought with an insufferably tense 8-7 victory over old nemesis France. McCaw called it the toughest test of his life. This was the lowest score in a World Cup final ever. After the final, All Blacks coach Sir Graham Henry stated, "He can hardly walk, and how he played today I just don't know. He should be in the hospital on a drip. If he wasn't playing today with a broken foot, we probably wouldn't have won." Individually, his accolades were just as staggering. He was named World Rugby Men's 15's Player of the Year 3 times, in 2006, 2009 and 2010. He was also nominated in 5 other seasons: 2002, 2003, 2005, 2007 and 2012. No one else came close. Even Dan Carter, the next most decorated player, earned only half as many nominations. McCaw was only yellow-carded twice in his All Blacks career. On the last occasion against Australia in 2014, he came back on the field and scored 2 tries in a 51-20 pounding of Australia at Eden Park, the first time the All Blacks scored half a century in an international against Australia. McCaw mainly played as an open-side flanker. Many people say McCaw is the best open-side flanker ever, and his ability to guess what will happen next in the game is one of his most important skills. One of McCaw's strengths was his ability to change his game. For example, he quickly learned to play with new rules about the breakdown. Some people thought McCaw pushed the rules too far. Former coaches from South Africa and Australia even called him a cheat. They said referees let him get away with too much at the breakdown. McCaw admits he tests the referee early in a game to see what you can get away with. He says only an idiot wouldn't adjust to the referee's decisions. His teammates and fans in New Zealand thought that McCaw's playing style made him a target for illegal tackles. Many international players were accused of making cheap shots on McCaw. McCaw said that what happens on the field stays on the field. He believed that if he got extra attention, it meant he was doing something right. In 2012, the coach of the Australian team, Robbie Deans, tried to use 2 open-side flankers to counter McCaw. After a game in 2012, the South African coach Heineck Meyer said McCaw was the greatest rugby player the world has ever seen. He's among the finest captains in All Blacks history, constantly demonstrating the art of leading from the front. Leading by example, he has perfected the art of creating and inspiring a winning team, encouraging his teammates to lift their game and be the best they can be. He is the most capped All Black of all time, and is also the most successful Test captain. In December 2011, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, John Key, offered Richie McCaw a knighthood, but McCaw turned it down. He felt it wasn't the right time because he was still playing rugby. He thought it would be better to receive such an honour after his playing career ended. In November 2015, Richie McCaw retired from rugby, since many analysts, including New Zealand coach Steve Hansen, have claimed that he's the greatest All Black of all time. Following his retirement, he was appointed a member of New Zealand's highest honour, the Order of New Zealand, in the 2016 New Year Honours. This honour is even higher than a knighthood. Only 20 living New Zealanders can be members at any one time. He was also quite rightly inducted into the World Rugby Hall of Fame in 2019. So here's my question for you. Is Richie McCaw truly the greatest All Blacks player ever, or is it Dan Carter for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.